Would you take advice? Would you take driving instruction? Would you have somebody teach you how to drive just because they have a nice car? Like, are the people who have the nicest cars the ones that are the best drivers? And you may or may not have experiences one way or the other. You may have opinions one way or the other. But I think the question you would ask first is, what does this person having a nice car have to do with what they know how to do? Like, what does them having a good vehicle, a nice vehicle, have to do with their skills as a driver, their ability as their driver, and their ability to teach me about driving? And I'm hoping that you see this as like, yeah, of course. Like, why would they be any better than anybody else at teaching you how to drive? And I want you to take that same understanding and ask yourself, why do you consider somebody who might have good genetics or look like they work out teach you how to work out? Is it because they're the perfect example, because they themselves have a nice body, as you might call it? Is it possible that the person who's driving that nice car just does whatever they want because they have a nice car, and the person who has that body just does whatever they want because they're able to? There might be some parallels here. And the whole point is that just because somebody has a nice car, they can't necessarily, or it's not necessary that they know more about driving than you or the person that doesn't have a nice car. I think some of the people who are the best drivers, maybe some of those race car drivers, don't have a car that's on the road that's similar to that person's car. And that goes for these bodies as well. A lot of these instructors, a lot of these professionals, gurus, whatever, on social media especially, on some facilities, they just happen to be young people who are either already athletic, and because they're so active, they happen to be in a certain shape, and they're trying to teach you what they know because that's all they know. And they haven't really learned the reasons why they're succeeding the way they are. They might not understand it to the extent that somebody who studied it has. They might just be there because they're young and their body can handle almost anything. And anybody who's sort of gone through things and understand that, when you're younger, you can almost throw anything at your body and it'll bounce back and you'll succeed in spite of some of your behaviors. And as you get older, you realize that your behaviors are probably, and your habits are probably more important. So I'm saying, let's not look at the person who necessarily looks a certain way and think that their advice that they have is the best advice. Because more than likely, at least in my experience, these people just were accidentally lucky, accidentally right? Like a clock is right 2 times a day, even if it's broken. And this is not to take away. Like, there might be some athletes who actually understand what's going on, but it's probably the minority versus the majority. And I'm trying. I don't want to knock these people. I'm just trying to question why we might listen to somebody teach us how to drive, have a nice car, and the same, teach us how to be healthy just because their body looks a certain way. So the principles are the principles, and it's no matter the experience. The rules of the road are the rules of the road. The tactics are the tactics, regardless of who's the driver. And one driver doesn't know any better. One fitness professional doesn't know any better just because they drive a nice car or they look a certain way. So trust your instinct. Understand that somebody who's learned to be able to work with multiple people will probably be able to teach you a little bit better. A driving instructor might do a better job than somebody who has a nice car. They just learned more. And they might not have the nicest car, but they know how to drive and teach people how to drive, right? So I'm going to stop belaboring the point here. What I'd like you to do is understand that the principles are the principles regardless of who's trying to teach them to you. And it's more than likely somebody who has studied and experienced helping people that are going to give you the best advice than somebody who has a nice car or a nice body.